Yo, yo, yo. What's up, everybody? Um, First of all, I want to thank y'all for 50 subscribers, bro. Halfway to 100. Let's see if we can get there by next year, man. That would be fucking. Let's say like by next February or March. That would be cool as hell. But today to like celebrate the 50 subscribers, we're reacting to 3 really scary true Walmart horror stories animated. Bro, I remember watching like Dang Matt Smith and Infinite List react to animated scary stories like these. Bro, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. So let me stop yapping. Let me shut the fuck up real quick. And let's get started. Make sure to like and subscribe. Horror Shorts Party. True Walmart Horror Story 1. Oh, that shit's holy shit. Suspenseful. Am I saying that right?
Nights at Walmart are never the same as the last. Sometimes, my shift is so slow and boring that I'm struggling to stay awake. Other nights, it's a non-stop barrage of helpless customers,
Am I tripping, or does he have a little bit of
and crackheads. The
top
only thing
15,
that makes it any easier
he kind of sounds like top 15 a little bit.
Not long ago, and especially
I might be
good
tripping
friend
a
of
little. I
mine
might be
still
tripping,
worked
but
here. Josie was the best part of any shift. Night by night, we were slowly becoming more than friends. Of course, that meant our managers made sure we rarely ever saw each other. The way they put us at opposite ends of the store. I guess they didn't want 2 of their best employees to accidentally find happiness together. But that's beside the point. One night, Josie and I were working the same shift, but as usual, not together. I had to help man the self-checkout area, and Josie was holding down the clothing department by herself. It was late, enough for a bit of excitement to start building up in my stomach. Not only would I be home in a couple of hours, but the fitting rooms were closing any minute, which meant Josie might be free to come help near checkout as the last of the customers left the store. However, I momentarily forgot where I worked. Walmart, a place in which even a fleeting moment of joy is easily destroyed. I had just finished checking someone's receipt.
Damn, that's crazy.
Sure
Walmart really like that?
scanned in their 8 cases of diet soda. When I waved them on and looked toward the entrance.
I don't work at Walmart. I work at Hy-Vee. But for anyone who works at Walmart, is Walmart really like this?
To see an
Say yes or no. Put yes or no in the comments.
Savory sight. A large, sweaty, shirtless man was clobbering his way into the store. He didn't actually run into anybody, but he looked like he was either on something or off his rocker completely. Still, I had to step away from my station and tell him something important.
Yo, he's just a fatter version of Gideon, bro. Like a much fatter version of Gideon. Holy.
Sir, stop. You can't be in here half naked. You have to put a shirt on. I'm going to buy a shirt right now, dumbass. Mind your business.
Damn.
I didn't feel there was much of a choice for me.
That's crazy, bro.
The guy was way bigger than me, so I didn't want any trouble. Reluctantly, I returned to the self-checkout area, trying to focus on
what the fuck's wrong with his head?
I was at work. I didn't need to be a hero or anything. I just had to do what I was supposed to do and let the people in the clothing department handle that guy. A few seconds too late, it hit me. Josie was running the clothing department, alone. And right as I had the realization.
What the fuck are these? What are these
I heard
sounds,
Josie scream.
Bro?
I immediately made a break for it, running as fast as I could. I got to the clothing department seconds later, but I didn't get there in time. I didn't save Josie. All I managed to do was to get there to be able to watch as that freak. He had this giant red knife in his hand from God knows where. He grabbed Josie and stabbed her. I saw the life drain from her eyes as she collapsed. The man fell on top of her, pulling the knife out just to take it into both hands and plunge it straight down, right through the center of her neck. I thought I must be having a nightmare, a hallucination, something.
Nah, bro, you need to get out of there. Stop watching. Go away.
60% off list at the holiday deals.
I mean, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Slumberland.
It all happened in 5 or 6 seconds, and just like that, Josie was dead. Even if I hadn't been
go away, run.
I couldn't have stopped him. No one could have.
Run, you
Man
dumbass.
Was a monster. And then he craned his neck back to look at me. His face and mouth soaked in Josie's blood. His eyes full of such pure evil.
The fuck, was he
they
eating
couldn't
her?
have been human. Why? She wouldn't stop following me. Now why can't you just leave me alone?
Why the fuck are his eyes dark?
Me. I wanted to stand there and fight him or die.
You can kind of see his eyes, but like it's like very faint.
My instincts took over and I ran like a coward. I could barely breathe through the tears, and somehow that man was way faster than he should have been. A few more seconds, and he might have caught up and granted my wish. But at the last second, I realized I was running straight for a bunch of cops. I panicked and ducked, tripping over myself and sliding across the floor. The next instant, I heard a gunshot. A bullet flew right over my head. It made my ears ring, but when I could hear again, I heard the clicking of what I realized was a taser. I looked back and saw the man collapsed and rigid on the floor not far from me, as the electricity coursed through his body.
Yeah, and they got that walrus on the floor.
But it was enough to help the cops arrest him and put a stop to the madness. Later, we found out the man had stolen a knife from the nearby Walgreens. The cops showed up so early because they were already looking for him, but they didn't expect the theft to turn into what it did. According to the police, the man said he killed Josie because he thought she was some sort of demon, something that had been stalking him for weeks.
Oh yeah, he's fucking crazy.
I knew it had to be madness. No sane individual would mistake Josie for a demon.
Nah, lock him up.
No person would ever take her away from this world, away from me. A Walmart employee in Arkansas was taken out by a man who allegedly told authorities that he was being stalked by a demon.
What?
Around 10:58 p.m., officers were dispatched to a report of a man stabbing a woman inside the store. Officers arrived and encountered 37-year-old Zedric Ross, who was still armed with a knife. During the encounter, officers gave Ross multiple commands to drop the weapon, but he did not comply and came toward an officer while still armed. In response, one officer fired one shot, but missed. Another officer then used a taser.
So this guy was actually,
this
is based on a true story?
The victim, Jordan Drinkwater, 32, died at the scene from her injuries. During the investigation,
R.I.P., bro.
Ross allegedly told law enforcement that he had stolen a large knife from Walgreens before the attack and a machete from Walmart for protection because he said a demon was stalking him. He described the demon as a light-skinned black woman with brown eyes and before the attack, and a machete from Walmart for protection because he said a demon was stalking him. He described the demon as a light-skinned black woman with brown eyes and a weave whom he had only seen at a distance. While at Walmart, he said he allegedly grabbed the demon and began stabbing it in the neck and shoulder in an attempt to kill it. However, after the stabbing, he looked down and realized that the victim on the ground was not the demon he thought he had saw. Authorities said Ross was not employed by Walmart and was not known to Drinkwater and had no interaction with her before the attack. Ross is being held without bond and charged accordingly.
Yeah, they better have gave his ass life. He don't need to be on the streets. He don't need to be out on the streets. I think I'm gonna put a epilepsy warning in the title.
Again, just like any other night spent working at Walmart, I was already looking forward to leaving. I kept dragging myself through the shift on the promise I made to myself that I'd get utterly wasted the second I got home. I know that's a very unhealthy coping mechanism, but it will become obvious why it's become my method of choice for unwinding after a long day of work. At around 10 p.m., a particular woman walked through the front entrance. She didn't grab a cart or a basket,
nor
did she seem capable of doing so. She had that telltale twitch of a tweaker. I couldn't tell what kind of drug she was on.
Look at them long
just
fucking Wembenyama arms,
to try and ease the tension. I gave her the best customer service late night Walmart has to offer.
What's that one guy's name?
Welcome in,
Salad
man. Can I help you find anything?
Oh, find your nutsack and suck on it.
Okay.
Failing to reach the woman on a personal level, I began treating her like a shoplifting suspect. She was clearly too deranged to be left to wander around on her own, especially since we were short-staffed. I had a feeling the police would need to get involved
that bitch
if we
out
had
of
to
here.
remove her from the store.
She got arms like
She was in her
Wembenyama.
own world. To be honest, I was curious what she would even go for. It gets boring at night, and sometimes I like to play a little guessing game. What are the freaks going to steal this time? Food, tampons, deodorant? I've even seen them go for adult diapers a couple times. Turns out, I was wrong in every regard. She wasn't trying to steal anything. She crept all the way over to the bakery, where she stared at the bread shelf for several minutes. She looked over her shoulder, but she must have been too nearsighted to see me. as I wasn't even trying to hide. Then, she started digging through her hair. I rolled my eyes, thinking she probably had lice or something, but she pulled something out. Something much larger than a bug, yet still too small for me to identify.
She gonna put it inside the food?
She didn't stash it on her person like merchandise though. With sudden dexterity, she opened a bread bag and inserted whatever it was between two slices of
I called it. She was gonna put the thing in the bread.
The corporate drone in my brain couldn't compute. She wasn't stealing. She was adding to the shelves. I had to see it happen again to make sure I wasn't going crazy and seeing life playing out in reverse. A few seconds later,
man, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you just watching her? Kick her out.
There was nothing in her hand before it went in, but when it came out, she had something small and grayish brown. I still couldn't tell what it was.
Is it a blade?
Though I clearly saw her stick it into another loaf of bread, so I knew it was time to ask her what she was up to. I didn't want to confront her like a security guard. I just wanted to begin the process of getting her out.
You should have kicked her out when she first put the thing in the bread.
Excuse me, miss. I couldn't help but notice you just put something in that bread. Would you mind telling me what it was?
No, you didn't see anything. Please don't tell anyone. I have to do this.
I'm sorry, but you actually can't do that, and I will have to ask you to leave.
And if I don't?
Then I'll be forced to call the police.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, you want to know what I put in there?
Yes, I do.
Take a good look.
Out of nowhere, that bitch pulled out a rusty razor blade and slashed my arm. If I hadn't blocked, it would have gone straight to my face. But that didn't stop her from trying to cut my eye out. She lunged at me, swiping that razor through the air. Then she jumped on top of me. I fell back, smacking my head on the ground. I was focusing everything on trying to keep her from getting me with the razor, but I still felt it slicing through me all over my body. I was screaming for help and trying to keep my mouth shut at the same time, so she didn't shove it down my throat.
And then next week, about midweek, you're going to start
I don't
to see
care,
a little
bro.
bit of scattered no paperwork from the East River to the West River.
After what felt like forever, I finally felt her weight get pulled off. She howled and shrieked as my coworkers worked together with all their collective power to restrain her. Even some customers came to help. It took everyone to rein her in. The cops came very soon after and locked her in handcuffs. Upon investigation, it was discovered that psycho woman had been stuffing razor blades into pastries and loaves of bread all night. Not just at my store, but at several other Walmarts in the area too. Bro. That's what those things she had stashed in every crevice of her body were. Rusty razor blades. I don't know what in her insane mind possessed her to do such a thing, but I don't think I'm capable of understanding. As for the fallout, the regional manager threw out everything in the bakeries made that day and sent out a message to the public warning all customers to do the same with whatever they had purchased. Luckily, nobody bit into any rusty razor blades because of that woman. As for myself, she didn't hit any major arteries. I got stitched up and poked with a dozen booster shots for tetanus and hepatitis A through Z, and whatever else she might have been carrying. I'm getting my blood work done again soon to see if I've been infected.
So that was story number 2.
Police in Mississippi have arrested 33-year-old Camille Benson after razor blades were found hidden inside loaves of bread and other baked goods at 2 Walmart stores in Biloxi. Authorities charged her with attempted mayhem and set her bond at $100,000 after customers reported finding the sharp objects in bread purchased from both a Walmart supermarket and a Walmart neighborhood market. Surveillance footage and police statements led to her arrest on December 16th. And Walmart said it removed and inspected all potentially infected products
is her nose like gigantic or some shit?
No injuries have been reported, but police urged anyone who bought affected items
what the
to
fuck
check
is
with
that?
them
Hold on, let me go
and
back real
inspected
quick.
all potentially infected.
I know I'm not the only one that sees that. See that right there? What is that? What is that? I don't know, maybe camera
Products
glitch?
at the impacted locations. No injuries have been reported, but police urged anyone who bought affected items to check with them carefully and report any concerns. Working this dead-end job at Walmart, I have no desire to go above and beyond for my team, and I've already accumulated quite a few unpleasant memories that will stick with me.
Actually, I don't think this needs an epilepsy warning. Without a doubt,
this is the worst one.
Ain't epilepsy warnings
on a Friday night. Barely any.
Ain't epilepsy like when it like goes like it's like blinding lights that goes like back and forth. Like it flickers a ton. Yeah, I think. Okay, I don't think this
was
is an
around,
epilepsy warning.
but of course, that was merely false hope. Right at the end of stocking a shelf, I noticed a woman enter the aisle. I could tell she was looking at me, making her way toward me. The woman called out to me with a raspy and pitiful voice, forcing me to make eye contact.
Sir, can I please use your bathroom?
I'm sorry, but we already closed the bathrooms.
I know. I'm sorry. But it's an emergency. Can you unlock it for just a few minutes? I promise I'll leave before you close.
I mean, I could get into trouble.
Please, you gotta understand, this is the last chance I have to go somewhere that's safe. If I don't go now, I'll have to do it outside. And the last time I did that, I got attacked, and I just can't.
Okay, fine. You don't have to explain all that. Just follow me. The woman immediately began to thank me profusely, but I told her in the nicest way to save it. Helping her felt like the right thing to do, but it didn't make me feel good. Not wanting to be seen together by my co-workers, I quietly led her to a family restroom, one of the single-use ones. The woman entered the bathroom and locked herself inside. I walked away before anyone saw me. I didn't want to be associated with any potential incidents. Afterwards, I went back to what I was doing and continued my shift like nothing was out of the ordinary. Really, nothing was unusual. I finished stocking everything, helped clean up, then I left the store on schedule. When I got home, I briefly remembered the woman, realizing I hadn't actually made sure she left before the store closed. I didn't dwell on it though. I figured one of the managers had to have checked that bathroom on their final sweep and dealt with it. Unfortunately, the next day, I clocked in and noticed something disheartening after just a few minutes. The bathroom I had helped that lady into was closed off. There was an out of order sign right out front, and the door was locked.
Shit.
All at once, I felt a mix of emotions.
Her dead body's gonna be in there.
I had made the mistake of taking pity on someone. I helped them out, and they took advantage of my kindness. They were probably spinning a sob story from the start.
Her body's gonna be in there, ain't it?
To do what every other junkie does? Lock themselves in the bathroom and get high? Despite my feelings, I did my best to forget about it, unless I got written up for it. The whole thing really was just a minor inconvenience. Someone, hopefully other than me, would get stuck with the dirty job of cleaning up after the mess. Then the bathroom would reopen, and it would be all par for the course for Walmart. However, an entire day passed, and nobody went in. Then another day. Finally, on Monday, it was me. I got stuck with it. Now, I was pissed. Half at this drug addict who lied to me, and half at myself for believing her. As I gathered some supplies before going in, I kept thinking about how I would probably get called into the office right afterward, shown the footage of me letting her in, then slapped with some stupid punishment. If only that were the case. No repercussions I imagined would have ever come close to the reality I was about to face. I was wholly and completely unprepared as I walked up to that door. I inserted the key and turned the lock with my guard entirely down.
Sweet.
Fuck out of here.
The custard is fresh and it's creamy and delicious.
When I opened the door, as soon as it cracked, the foulest, most unforgettable stench hit my nose. If you've ever smelt it before, you know what I'm talking about. But this was my first time experiencing it, and I had no idea what I meant. I only hesitated for a moment before barging in. Swinging the door wide open, there was a dead person on the floor, a woman. The same scrawny, helpless girl I helped a few nights ago. She'd been trapped in there this whole time. Her body was bloated and leaking dark, festering fluids everywhere. I recoiled with every fiber of my being. I slammed the door shut, falling backwards away from the bathroom, and subsequently throwing up on myself out of pure shock. Suddenly, every bit of self-wallowing I'd been allowing myself was put into perspective. I didn't have a shitty life. That woman did. I was just a shitty person, yet I'm still alive.
Did she kill herself?
She met her end in a Walmart bathroom. The fact that the cause of her death was an overdose matters very little to me now. I was the last human face she ever saw.
It was an
and all
overdose?
I wanted was to get her out of my sight. Surprised, June 2000 didn't face any charges, nor did I lose my job. But that doesn't alleviate the guilt.
He didn't lose his job for that shit?
This incident occurred in June 2017 at a Walmart in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Catherine Caraway, 29, was found deceased in a single-use family bathroom at the back of the store on a Monday afternoon. Surveillance video showed Caraway entering the restroom around 6 p.m. on Friday, meaning her body remained in the locked room for approximately 3 days. A Walmart employee tried to enter the locked bathroom on Friday and, assuming it was broken, placed an out-of-order sign on the door without checking inside. The body was discovered when the bathroom was finally unlocked on Monday. While police initially did not consider the death suspicious, a later autopsy indicated the cause was related to difluoroethane toxicity, often from huffing aerosol propellant.
Alright, it looks like that's it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and also thank you for 50 subscribers. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Bye bye, baby.